This is actually another kind of groundbreaking talk for MACNA this year. The reason we are all here is because of the aquarium business. The aquarium industry side of things, you know, supports this hobby that we do, and it supports the conference and everything. But for some reason, business talks and industry talks have really not been part of the program. You know, we always talk about fish and devices and products and reef tanks and maybe a little bit of travel. But the local fish store is the backbone of our hobby and our industry. And man, there's just nothing like going to a local fish store on Saturday morning, meeting up with some friends and having a coffee and just chit-chatting about your tank and about life, and that's one of my favorite things. And there's a lot of things that local fish stores and aquarium owners can do better, and we have a talk this morning from a very successful fish store owner. Jim Walters is a great friend of mine. He loves his rare fish, he loves his aquariums, he loves being here, and he's put together an original presentation about the local fish store. And please help me in welcoming Jim Walters.
Hello, Mile High MACNA. So I'm here from Chicago, Illinois. So we're a local fish store. We've been there for 39 years now, and I've been there for 25 of those years. We're a full-line aquarium store, which makes us a specialty store. But we're also not a hyper specialty store where it's, you know, more focused on super expensive LEDs or small zoo frags, and those people are great, love them. It's just not what my speech is about today. So I thank you for having me. When I spoke in Atlanta, being asked as a local fish store to speak at a MACNA, it was the most humbling and honoring thing ever, and now I'm actually asked back, and it freaks me out, and I thank you a lot. So in prep for this, I spoke to many local fish stores, and I spoke to some manufacturers, and I spoke to some distributors, and there was kind of some resounding themes that we're going to go through. And these are broad thoughts on big problems, so there's exceptions to everything that I'm saying. So the three things we're going to cover is why are local fish stores, LFS, is still relevant? If you believe that we're relevant, which I do, what are our responsibilities to this industry? And then the last little section there, does this industry and hobbyists have any responsibilities pertaining to us? Which might be the part that you want to watch, because then you can probably watch me get punched in the trade show after this lecture. So, what has changed for local fish stores? What's the biggest thing? Other industries also. It's the internet. And I'm not here to complain about the internet. To do that, I would look foolish. It's here to stay. It's changed. And so it's changed our relationship with you guys a lot. On the internet now, you can get your own information. You can easily do all your own research. You can find reliable product reviews. You have your forums. You guys can exchange your own ideas. You can exchange your experiences. There's super sexy what you see is what you get. I mean, just the most beautiful stuff ever. And there's ridiculously cheap pricing on there, which we're going to talk about later. But so for many of these reasons, you don't need us. And I and us is going to be very interchanged in this lecture. I'm really talking for everybody, but it will come out as me. And that's okay. I know you don't need us. If I didn't own a store, I have enough information. Guess what? I'm buying my fish from Kevin Cohn. It's the way it's going. He has beautiful pictures. We all know his husbandry routines. We know how much he conditions the things. So I am not here to rant against internet purchasing. What I am here to tell you is why you still want us around. So if you're not our target customer, who is? Our target customer is entry level now. That's what we want to do. We want to bring people into the hobby. And I believe that that's why you want us the most. And so when I say entry level, it doesn't mean that, as a store we don't do this or that we don't, still do big custom installations. That's all great. We love it. We make a lot of money from that stuff. But entry level is really where it's at. And I feel as an LFS that I have a responsibility. And my responsibility is to inspire, to educate, and to create new long-time hobbyists. That's really what our responsibility is. To get the new people in, show them the sense of wonderment. So many hobbyists these days, for my customers, remove service from it. If we do our job and we inspire them, we educate them, they're only going to shop with us for a short period of time. I mean, 100% shop with us. That could be 6 months or it could be 6 years. Because by the time we've educated them all the way up and they can do this on their own, they're going to be you. They're going to be going to MACNA's. They can sit next to you. They know where to order now at a cheaper price. And that's a good thing. That means I did my job. But this hobby does need us, because I was talking to a Canadian distributor, and he has well, he has all of Canada, but he has quite a big territory up there. And he was in the store, and he was telling us, my territory has no entry-level stores. And all that was left was a bunch of super specialty stores. Not that there's anything wrong with them. Again, please remember that's not what I'm saying anything bad about. And so they were all fighting for your business, the educated hobbyist business, which is even fighting the internet more than me. And without the entry level, then those super specialty stores went out of business. And he now has a huge territory up there, and there's nobody. He has nothing. There's nothing local in this whole place. So, a couple slides behind, sorry. So, how can and do LFSs create new hobbyists, and what are my responsibilities? If I'm going to tell you why I think you need us, I think I also have to tell you I carry responsibilities also that I have to answer to. One, we have to have a passion for all levels of this industry. I can't tell you the number of people that we start off with betas. You can't have a store, well, you can, I'm sorry, but putting entry-level people in, we need to remember the wonderment of the small stuff. And there's a lot of great betas out there now. They can go from $5 up to, the $250 macrostomas, and that's still an entry-level fish. You can still put in a little tiny thing. And you may think this is silly that I'm talking about betas, but the story that I'll tell you is we're lucky enough to have a lot of foot traffic on our street. So we had a family come in with 3 kids, had no intention of getting anything. They got a beta bowl. We tried to show them how to do it really cool, and you could design something just for them. 3 months later, they got a 15-gallon freshwater aquarium, and we put as much passion into that as everything else that we do, and decorate it and come up with an idea. And within 9 months, we installed a 350-gallon custom reef in their house. I'm telling you the truth. This is not even... That line is the glass staircase that's going up by it. And that happened in 9 months. And that didn't happen because they decided they wanted an aquarium and they were on the internet. We did our job. We inspired them. And we educated them the whole way along. The other thing that we have to do is train our staff. I think I've seen stores in the past where everyone sits around and waits for somebody with a lot of expertise to come in and do that. We tend to hire people that know nothing, put them to work, and we train them up so that they follow our philosophy. As you guys know, there's a lot of ways to do things here. But as a store, we need to have solid, easy, jargon-free information where you can talk to the new entry-level people without frustrating them. Here's one. You also have to realize and make sure that we have common stock available. I want the rares of the rare. I've made a career out of it. But you have to stock the basic stuff, and you have to make it sexy, and you have to create a market for it. Your stock tanks should be as beautiful as your display tanks for inspiration reasons. People walking through your store that don't know anything, they haven't seen anything, make them want it. So as I'm talking about entry level, you can still have this. Believe me, I chased the nicest hawkfish for 25 years. It's been a bookfish to me, and now they're out there and you can get these guys. But I chased the Spanish flag. I had to have the little 3-inch guy. So I'm not saying forget about the stuff that gets us all excited, but also don't forget about just good basic stuff. Slide behind, sorry. Also, your in-store displays, believe me, create the tank of your dreams. Put on all your reactors, put on your CO2 stuff, get your best LED lighting. That's great. But also put some basic displays out there. Some of that really high-end stuff, if you're talking to a new person, it can intimidate them and it can scare them away. So there's nothing wrong with just showing some nice, basic, easy displays. What's the first thing you saw? There's still no loss in big, beautiful, swaying green star polyps to somebody that's never seen it. I'm tired of empty stores coming up to me and complaining that they can't get the top 10% of any shipment that comes in. You know what? You want that top 10%? Buy another 30% of the common stock stuff and make it sexy and sell it to the people. So for these reasons, I believe that we're relevant. I believe we feed the industry. I believe we're right out there. So this is where it's going to get a little down and dirty. I firmly believe that we get overlooked, we get discriminated against, and we can even be vilified. From manufacturers, distributors, and even hobbyists. And I love the hobbyists. I'm not here to complain about the customer. We're very fortunate. I have hobbyists that have been shopping with us for 35 years. One of them sitting out there in the crowd right now. And I'm not saying that we're perfect, but we are the first face of this industry. We're the most accessible. When there's information needed, when there's parts needed, if there's a problem or an emergency, you'll call us whether you're a patron of ours or not, which is fine. I'm just telling you the way it is. So one of the most disturbing trends that's very difficult for all to understand, which I hope I can do this with clarity here for you, is there's a race to the bottom with pricing. And I don't want any of you all to pay more for anything than you have to. I just want you to know what it's like from our side. That's all I'm here to tell you. There's a big disconnect between value and price out there still, in all industries. Value is service, time, and information. Price is the cheapest price point. If you don't need me, if you don't need my service or my time or my expertise, fabulous. Shop online, the way I do for things that I know what I need. However, there's manufacturers going, whoo, this is going to be rough. And they're putting stuff out there online with no or unenforced or unrealistic MAP pricing. MAP pricing, minimum advertised price. There's many of the major boys that have been around for a very long time. You know their names. you know what? You're getting it cheaper offline than what I can pay for it. Are you queasy? Because it's going to get worse. It's cheaper online than what I'm allowed to purchase it for. This story is directly mine, as I said, that when I say I'm talking about all the people that I talk to. You want to see my new distributors? Oh, well, missed a few slides, sorry. Oh, that's how grumpy I am talking about this. That's what I've been told in the past year and a half. You need to buy your stuff from Amazon. We're not going to put it through the distributor anymore, and we're not going to sell to you to direct because it's too much paperwork. And can I get a hello, because I'm not swearing during this, which is really difficult. This is what they're telling us. That this is where we're supposed to buy our product. It's a good price for you, I understand. Again, I don't want you to pay more for anything than you can. But this isn't good for the hobby, which means that it's not good for you. So, this is still me being grumpy. So I went and talked to one of my friends. He has a store. And I was like, tell me about some of the problems. He's like, well, here's a 3-pack of filter cartridges. It's a big brand name. I have to have it. I have it at $9.99. I'm like, okay, well, 3 filter cartridges, that seems fine. He took me over. He went to one of the big online retailers. It was $3.99 with no shipping. Wow, that's a very hard thing to swallow. So we sat there for a second. Let's take $2 off that. Let's see if we can even it out. Let's come down to $7.99. Dude, that's still double. So let's take it down to $5.99 then, Steve. How is that going to work? At $5.99, he gets a 75% margin. 75 cents, sorry, 75 cents. And he's still almost double what's over online. It devalues, it cheapens the product. And I'm going now with, then you don't have faith in your product if you're the manufacturer and this is what it's going to do. I don't believe in you. Because I assume if you're letting it be torn down that cheap, that you're going to start making it cheaper, and it's going to get gross, and you're losing it. But guess what? What happens when a customer walks into an LFS and they see that much disparity in the prices? I'll tell you what they don't do. They don't run home, get on the phone and call the manufacturer and be like, dude, what's going on? No. They turn around to me, or they turn around to my staff, and they go, are you out of your mind? You're disgusting. Your markups suck. Like I'm getting ready to build my 18-stall horse ranch in Montana. I haven't seen very many LFS that's what they're doing. But we get hated on. We just picked up a new line of liquid products that we're really passionate about. Gave them out for free for a while to make sure that they worked well, because I don't sell snake oil. Tell all my customers, I'm like, what comes first? I tell all my staff, what comes first? And they're like, the customers. I'm like, no, you're very wrong in this situation. The fish and the animals come first. If you do what's right for the fish and animals, then the customer's happy, and then the customer likes the store, and then I like you even better. So this new liquid product, we really believe in it. It's a full line. But to sell it, it takes a lot of diagnosis, takes a lot of water testing. So it's 45 minutes to an hour. I'm paying $9.50 for it. It's online at $11.50. So I'm paying a staff member for an hour to get you to something that I really believe in. and I get $2 back. What would you like me to do with the $2? Buy a coffee? I have educated staff. They've been there for 15 years. They're married. They have 3 kids. They're really trying to make a career out of this because they're so passionate. We can't do it at that. It's short-sighted. It's bad for the hobby. It's good for the top 1%ers that are running these companies. But it's not us doing this. It's not the LFS. You've got to realize, you know what I would do? I think we need to be able to buy at the same price. And I know that's more paperwork for the manufacturers. I know it takes more people. But we should at least get it at the same price because we can't even compete on a lot of these lines. There's nothing we can do. But I'll take it a step further, and it's never going to happen. LFS should be able to buy it cheaper. Charge the big boys more money because they're going to be the ones only putting 10 or 15% markup on it. And you can sell it to us for less. We'll put our markup on it. It's still cheaper online for the people that are educated and know how to do that, and that's what they need. And us that are training the new people and putting them in and keeping the lifeblood of this hobby going, we can make some money. But that ain't ever going to happen. There are many good manufacturers. Ecozotic is a great model. They treat us like kings. They do sell direct to the public on their website because they feel like they can't reach all areas that they want to. But you know what they sell it for is just a little bit less than what I sell it for. And that's great. CJ does a really great job with it. So I'm not hating on everybody here. Ooh, except for these people. I am really, really irritated with the distributor retailer. You're going to sell to both to make a couple extra bucks. So I'll get everybody all trained up. We'll put them into the market, and you'll sell me your product so that I can sell it to them. And then you'll take them away from us for your extra 10%. Really? There's no morals? I mean, come on. You're milking both ends. Bite me. Sorry. So hobbyists, are you ready to get yelled at now? So this isn't all hobbyists at all. This is just talking about some of the things that we're facing. Blatant showrooming. I'm not talking about little quiet things where people are secretive about it. I'm not talking about coming in and spending 2 hours with one of my staff members and hearing about our products and why we recommend them and what we want to do and going home with your information and deciding what information is the best for you. I'm talking about coming into the store, talking to them for 2 hours, and then taking pictures and writing it all down, going home and ordering it, and very proudly walking in the store the next day. Hey, so I ordered everything you told me to, so now what? It's again the disconnect between value and price. If you're smart enough to get your products online, do it. I shop online. But expertise has a cost. So we just had a gentleman in, this is actually our store, I'm not talking generally, a few weeks ago. So talked to him about getting some lights, and he proudly went home and ordered them and walked in 3 days later. Hey, I ordered the lights you told me to. I can't figure out how to mount them. Can you show me how to mount them? Okay, I'm going to be really nice here because maybe if I keep being nice, maybe I'm going to make a customer for just the frozen food or whatever it is. Okay, so here's your parts. If you have any idea how difficult stocking parts for an LFS is, I mean, it's a big deal. Okay, so here's your parts. Here's how you do it. It's 45 minutes. And he goes, oh, okay, I see it. you know, I don't know your markup here, but those parts are $20. And it looks like stuff that I can get at Home Depot, so I'll just go get it at Home Depot. Yeah, but you know what? Home Depot couldn't tell you how to put your lights in your canopy. It's stealing. I'm almost done here, I promise. So I have a few pet peeves I'm going to go through. Especially dealing with entry-level people. I know things need a name. They do. If you're looking for a very specific piece of coral, it needs a name. But you also have to understand that to newbie people, sometimes if it doesn't have a name, they think it's not worth anything then. And that's, again, what I'm talking about. Beautiful common stock and making sure that we can keep that side of the industry going. Can we chill out on this a little? Just a little? I mean, I love to see corals fluoresce more than anybody. But you know what? I would like to know what my coral is going to look like during the other 8 hours of the day other than sunrise and sunset. Went to a Frags show in Chicago, and I was walking around, and I had a friend with me that knows nothing about corals. He just went because, you know, whatever, we were going to screw off for the day. He's like, wow, those corals are all glowing. You know, I haven't seen yours in the store glowing like that. And I said, oh, they have them all under a tank, you know, so you can see the inflorescence. And one of the sellers overheard me. And he's like, oh, no worries. I have my tablet here. This is what they look like during the day. Unique Corals gave me these next couple images. They're really upstanding guys. They support all aspects of the hobby, and they're very sustainable. So I'm not railing against macro shots. I'm telling you the disconnect sometimes that people can have with it, okay? That's all I'm saying. I was talking to a friend of mine. I keep trying to click at the screen over there, and it's here. Don't look at that. We can bring in that, what a beautiful picture of a real coral. It's not all ramped up. It's not under blues. They didn't alter it. We can bring those pieces into our stores, and people can go, oh, I'm looking for blah, 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 acan. There it is. No, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. And it's really happy. It's really healthy. It's full. Oh, that's not what I saw on the internet. And so one of my friends, I was asking, I don't do much in small frags. He said, I've come up with an idea to fight this. I'm going to put a flat screen in my store, and I'm going to take pictures of everything. And then I can put it up on the screen. And so when somebody's looking at it, I can look at it, see what a wonderful coral. And I was like, what a great idea. And then I got really sad. We're teetering dangerously close to preferring satisfaction in the virtual world over the real one. And I know that runs through everything in the whole world. I'm not saying that this is just us based. When I'm talking to a good, high-quality LFS that has great, beautiful, healthy corals, and he's having to put in a flat-screen TV to show what they look like, I guess if that's the progression of the hobby, then great, but I don't like it. So, in summary here, talking with other stores and smaller stores, I'm so fortunate and blessed, and we do great. Some of these practices that are going on is not allowing these stores to stock the product line that they want or to stock the product line that they think is best for their customer. And we're being forced to now look at what can I actually have a margin on. And that's really crappy. I don't like that concept, but it's where it's at. I just want this hobby, and especially some of the big boy manufacturers, to have our own morals and our own standards. This hobby is going so fast in a great direction. We're accomplishing things that we never thought that we would be able to do. But a lot of these practices could end us up with just formula, retail, white box as your only local fish store. Now, maybe you've been in one that has a great selection of fish. Maybe you've been in one where there's great husbandry practices there. Maybe you've been in one where you've been truly inspired to do a different sort of a tank. Maybe you've been in one and you've talked to somebody who had really great information. I haven't. I don't want it to go there. I want, at least if you shop online 99% of the time, I want you to be able to get up on a snowy morning or on a rainy morning if you're on the West Coast and say to your kids, hey, it's wet out. Why don't we go to the fish store and we'll pick out a crab or we'll buy a new fish. $4 worth of stuff. I want the kids to be able to still do that. So this is what we're fighting. On the day where everywhere looks like everywhere else, we shall all be very much impoverished. And not only that, more impoverishing still, we will be unable to express or even understand or depict what we have lost. That's all I'm fighting for here. So I believe we can all still move forward here. I've gotten more love out in that trade showroom than I've gotten in years. There's lots of people changing. They're helping us out a lot more, getting a little bit more realistic about this. We're going to continue to fight, and I do want to say thank you to the advanced hobbyists and the professional aquarists that have brought us to where we're at now. What has changed over the past 10 years, the past 5 years, the past year is insane, and I owe you guys a lot of gratitude. Other than that, I thank you for coming to listen to me rant. I was asked to rant. I'm not bitter. I love this industry. But thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your match.